Let's go. Clemson will be the home team for this year's game as the ACC representative. They come in with a record of 11-2, champions of the Atlantic Coast Conference. This will be Clemson's 7th appearance in the Capital One Orange Bowl, owning a 4-2 record. Tennessee, the visiting team in this game, comes in with a record of 10-2, finishing second in the SEC East. The Vols are making their 5th appearance in the Capital One Orange Bowl and their first since 1998, and we're looking forward to having both teams here down in South Florida. This year's game will be played on Friday, December 30th at Hard Rock Stadium, televised by ESPN at 8 p.m. Eastern. And before we open it up to Josh Heupel, we're going to bring in Orange Bowl CEO Eric Palms for some brief remarks. Eric?
Thanks, Mike. First of all, we're incredibly excited about the historic matchup here in the 89th Capital One Orange Bowl between number 6, Tennessee, and number 7, Clemson. It is the highest-ranked non-playoff Capital One Orange Bowl matchup we've hosted in the CFP era, number 6 versus number 7, and one of the highest in recent memory. So a tremendous matchup. We have great partnership with these conferences, with the ACC, having their champion Clemson Tigers coming here. Fantastic season, 11-2. 7 times they've been in the Orange Bowl. And it's been 7 years, since they've been here in the Orange Bowl, and the 4th time in the last 12 years. So we're excited about that. Tennessee, what can you say? I think one of the great stories of college football this year. Excited to have a SEC to come back to South Florida for the 5th year in a row. It's been 25 years since we've had Tennessee down here in the Capital One Orange Bowl. And Coach Heupel has a very special place in our history, leading the Oklahoma Sooners in 2001 in the national championship game down here. There's tremendous demand for this game. We're excited about it. You can feel it here in South Florida, and we're going to paint this town orange on December 30th. So with that being said, I'll turn it back to you, Mike, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Eric. We will now welcome in Tennessee's head coach, Josh Heupel, to say a few opening remarks, and then we will open it up for questions for Coach. Coach, go ahead.
Good afternoon, everybody. So happy to have the opportunity to be here with you guys today. We are so excited and happy about the invitation to the Capital One Orange Bowl. I'm really proud of our program, the steps that we've taken in the last 2 years. Extremely proud of our staff and our players. This season was a really unique one, and so proud of the accomplishments that we had on the football field. It's truly a team that's connected, that competes extremely hard, and we're really proud of the steps that we're making and really excited to have the opportunity to compete in the Orange Bowl here later this month. I know, having played in it and coached in it 2 previous times, this bowl game is as good as it gets. It's a very unique and special opportunity for our football program, and one that we couldn't be more excited to partake in. I know that our fans, Vol Nation, are going to show up in droves. They're excited about this opportunity to compete, and what a prestigious game, and very honored to be a part of it.
Perfect. Thank you, Coach. We will now open it up for questions for Coach Heupel. To ask a question, click on the raise hand function on your Zoom screen. Once called upon, please unmute yourself, state your name and your affiliation before asking your question. We're going to go ahead and get started with Trevor Groves. Go ahead, Trevor.
Hey, Coach, thanks for doing this, and congratulations on a great season. Just curious how much you've been able to kind of follow Clemson from afar over the years, and how you perceive Coach Sweeney's program, and if you've seen them at all this season, how you compare their defense to Alabama's defense.
Yeah, in recent years, obviously, have had an opportunity to see them, sporadically throughout the season, but see them. It's a tradition-rich program. They've had a ton of success, not just in past seasons, but in this season too. Obviously, finishing it out with an ACC championship. We have great respect for the quality of opponent. Coach Sweeney has done a fantastic job with that program since he's taken over. Obviously, you look at what they've done defensively. year in and year out, one of the top in the country. Haven't had a chance to follow up and watch in detail just the personnel or the scheme. So can't dive too much into that. Obviously, we'll do that here in the coming days and certainly over the next week. But offensively, they're historically a really good program too, and certainly last night were very explosive and created a bunch of big plays. So great opponent, one that we're excited about having the opportunity to go compete with here at the end of the month.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, next we're going to go over to Najee Tobias. Go ahead, Najee.
Good afternoon, Coach Heupel. Can you hear me, sir?
I do have you.
Yes. So congratulations on making it to the Orange Bowl. And what I would like for you to do is talk to me about coming back to Florida, because you had a very successful stint at UCF and now you'll be back in Florida. So you know a lot about our state, and you have Joe Milton, who's from Pahokee, Florida. So he'll be leading you against Clemson in South Florida. So let's talk about it.
Yeah, Joe's certainly going to be excited about having an opportunity to go play in an area that he's certainly familiar with, but so many friends and families and coaches and mentors have been a part of his life that we'll have an opportunity to come see him play in the football game. And certainly for me, have familiarity with the state of Florida, having been down there. A lot of our staff does as well. Having recruited down there, it's a place that we certainly know well, but not just through my experience down there as a coach, also just having played in this bowl game as a player, having coached in it 2 previous times as a coach as well. This is a great week leading up to the kickoff. The bowl committee does an unbelievable job of taking care of the athletes and the staff. It's absolutely first class, and the football game itself is always one that is highly competitive and in a special environment.
All right, let's go over to Adam Sparks. Again, please state your name and your affiliation, please. Adam Sparks, you there? You got to unmute yourself.
There, you got me, Josh?
I do.
Yeah. Adam Sparks, Knox News. Josh, what's the plan for kind of filling the gap of Alex Golish? How will you fill his shoes, and who's the accountable coach, I guess, that can recruit over this next month with Alex gone?
Yeah, certainly losing Alex is something that we're excited about. I think it speaks to the growth inside of our program. And when I say that, just that, the success that we're having on the field, the style of play, the culture that we have inside of our building, for him to have an opportunity to go run his own program is one that I am and our staff are excited for him to have that opportunity. And in the coming days, we'll understand how we want to fill that out on the recruiting trail, and then as we get into game preparation as well. But excited for him. And again, I think it speaks so well to what our players and our staff have done in a short amount of time here at Tennessee.
Let's go over to Jason Parker. Jason?
Hey, Coach. Jason Parker, NBC6 in Miami. So question for you. You obviously talked about your past experience in this game. You obviously won a national title here during the 2000 season when Oklahoma beat Florida State. Talk about how you're going to, what you're going to say to the players who may not have experienced this big bowl game atmosphere in a traditional game like the Orange Bowl. How are you going to tell them about what they're going to see here in Miami come December 30th?
Yeah, at the end of the day, the game is the most important thing. It's the most memorable thing of all the week of festivities. I think it's important that you enjoy the buildup and you enjoy the opportunity to see a new place, see a new culture, and enjoy the festivities of the week. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is the game. And so when it's time to lock into your game preparation, your practice, you got to be completely invested in those moments. And at the end of the day, at the end of the week, man, you're going to get an opportunity to play in a very special game. This is an historic, iconic game. a lot of these guys have grown up in an era of watching the importance of this football game. I know that I grew up in that as well. And this is a special opportunity. You're going to have the entire country watching this football game when this is slotted here on TV. And it's a special opportunity, a special moment, and a memory that you'll have forever.
All right, next we're going to go over to Tim Reynolds. Tim.
Thank you. Hi, Josh. Tim Reynolds with the Associated Press here in Miami. Kind of along those lines, because you have coached in this game twice since you won that national championship in it. I'm just, is it only natural that you're gonna, I know it's gonna be about your team and this game, I get it, but is it only natural to have some pangs of nostalgia when you personally come back to this game, knowing just what it meant to cap your college career?
Yeah, there will be things that will spark memories from my 2 stints as a coach, being back in Miami, but certainly as a player too. Absolutely, will bring back a lot of great memories, and really excited about having an opportunity to lead a program in this football game. This game is extremely special to me. A lot of great memories, and really looking forward to that opportunity. I already have teammates that will be able to come from or come to the ball game, guys that shared the field with me, and really looking forward to that opportunity.
All right, next we're going to go over to Corey Curtis. Go ahead, Corey.
Hey, Coach, congratulations. Corey Curtis at WKRN in Nashville. Obviously, there's a lot of kids that opt out of bowl games these days, with this being such a big, iconic game, and it's been a while for Tennessee. Do you expect most of your guys to be there?
Yeah, I certainly expect most of our guys to be there. There's guys that are still gaining information, and guys that were nicked up on the back half of the season that guys see where they get to here over the coming days, and make a smart, educated decision for them and their future. But this is a special football game. This is important to our program. It's important to our players inside of the locker room, especially. I certainly believe that we'll have a majority, if not a full roster, when we get down there for it.
All right, we got time for maybe 1-2 more questions. Let's go over to Matt Baker.
Hey, Josh, Matt Baker with the Tampa Bay Times. I wanted to follow up with the question about Alex a few minutes ago. You obviously know the American Athletic Conference and what it takes to succeed. Why do you think Alex could succeed at that level as a head coach at this moment?
Yeah, he's smart. He's competitive. Offensively, what he came in and learned while we were at UCF, and then as we transitioned up here to Tennessee, he's got a great ability to communicate and relate to student athletes, and is relentless as a recruiter. And there's no doubt in my mind he's going to do a great job of leading that program.
All right, and our last question here for Coach Heupel is for Dan Harrelson. Go ahead, Dan.
Hey, Coach. Speaking of your playing days, you were actually a Heisman finalist at that point too. Hendon Hooker may have a chance to kind of go through that same process. Has he leaned out to you any for that process, and maybe just from your experience going through that?
Yeah, unfortunately, he doesn't have control of that at this point. Hendon certainly deserves to be at that ceremony. He's certainly one of the best players in college football. The growth of our program is a direct correlation to what he's done, what he's invested, and how he's helped build the culture inside of our locker room. And a dynamic playmaker that has played his best in the biggest moments. Fierce competitor that makes a ton of plays, and I certainly hope that he has that opportunity.
All right, thank you, Coach. That'll do it for Coach Heupel. We're going to bring in Coach Dabo Sweeney here in a moment. And Coach, appreciate you taking the time today for us.
Appreciate it, everybody. Have a great day.